Elon Musk has made a career of turning science fiction into reality, but his latest prediction might be his most audacious yet. In a recent podcast appearance, Musk declared that in just 3 years, his Optimus robot will be a better surgeon than any human on the planet. He even suggested that going to medical school is becoming meaningless. It's a stunning claim that promises a world where elite surgical care is available to everyone on demand. But is this vision of the future based in reality, or is it the ultimate hype? We spoke with top bioethicists and leading AI researchers and looked at the facts to understand what's really going on. So, what's the real story behind whether a robot will be performing your surgery anytime soon? Section 1. The recursive exponential promise. So, what exactly is Elon Musk claiming? This isn't just about robots assisting times in the operating room that's already happening. Musk is talking about total replacement. In a conversation with Peter Diamandis, he said he envisions a near future where there will be more Optimus robots performing excellent surgeries than all human surgeons on Earth combined. How could this happen so fast? Musk points to what he calls a kind of triple exponential growth. He argues that the capabilities of AI software, the performance of AI chips, and the sophistication of the robot's mechanics are all improving at an exponential rate at the same time. And he has a fourth factor in his larger vision, Optimus robots, helping to build times more times Optimus robots, creating a recursive explosion in progress. The end result, he suggests, is a world where everyone could receive better medical care than even the president gets today. It's a powerful and utopian vision, but it's one that exists in a completely different universe from the current reality of medicine. Section 2. The reality check. What surgical robots actually do. So how far off is Musk's vision from today's reality? Let's look inside a real 2026 operating room. For years, surgical robots have been a mainstream part of medicine. Systems like Intuitive Surgical's Da Vinci, Medtronic's Hugo, and Stryker's Mako are used in hundreds of hospitals for minimally invasive procedures. In 2025, after the launch of the new Da Vinci 5, many health systems began adopting the new system because of the tangible benefits they offer. These robots have been shown to help reduce the size of incisions, lead to less blood loss, and shorten hospital stays. The market for these machines was valued in the high single-digit billions in 2024 and is projected to hit over $16 billion by 2030. This is a serious, growing industry. But here is the most important point, the one that separates today's reality from Musk's fantasy. Every single one of these systems is a tool, not an agent. They are robot-assisted platforms, entirely controlled by a human surgeon who makes every decision, every judgment call, and every single cut. The robot enhances the surgeon's dexterity and vision. It doesn't replace their brain or their hands. The surgeon is always times in charge. Section 3. The hurdles. Why the experts are skeptical. So why do experts in the field find Musk's 3-year timeline so unbelievable? We asked them, and the hurdles they identified are immense. Arthur Kaplan, a professor of bioethics at NYU's Grossman School of Medicine, called Musk's claim not credible. He points out that progress in this field has been slow and deliberate for a reason. For one, surgery has to account for enormous human variability. Every patient's anatomy is slightly different, and complications can arise in a split second. Programming a robot to handle every possible variation and unexpected event is a monumental task. Kaplan makes a powerful comparison. We still can't reliably deploy fully autonomous cars in dense cities. Is an open human body really a simpler, less critical environment than a city street? Some parts of surgery, like complex trauma, reconstruction, or delicate plastic surgery, are closer to art than science, requiring a level of creativity and contextual judgment that AI is nowhere near replicating. The idea that a general-purpose humanoid robot, which as of now primarily demonstrates walking and sorting objects, could master thousands of specialized procedures across dozens of medical fields in just a few years defies all logic. Then there's the regulatory mountain. In the United States, the FDA would have to clear a device like Optimus for times, each specific category times of surgery. Each approval would require massive, multi-year clinical trials to prove that the robot is not just as good as, but better times than a human surgeon. As of early 2026, there is no publicly available peer-reviewed surgical data on Optimus. Meanwhile, established medical companies are moving at a much more deliberate pace. Just this year, Johnson & Johnson submitted its robotic system, OTTAAVA, for FDA review for a few specific types of abdominal surgery. And that system is, again, designed to assist time surgeons, not replace them. And what if an autonomous robot makes a mistake, who is responsible? The hospital? The supervising doctor? Tesla? Our entire medical legal framework would need to be rebuilt from the ground up. Section 4. The real future of surgical AI. This doesn't mean the field is standing still. In fact, the next decade will bring incredible advancements, but they will look very different from Musk's vision. The real trajectory is one of augmentation, not replacement. Many experts believe the phrase of the future isn't AI will replace doctors, but rather doctors who use AI will replace doctors who don't. We're going to see AI acting as a co-pilot in the operating room. Imagine a system trained on millions of surgical videos that can analyze what's happening in real time. It could highlight critical nerves to avoid, identify tumor margins invisible to the human eye, or even predict a potential bleeding event seconds before it happens, giving the surgeon a critical heads up. The robots themselves will become more specialized and smaller, with some designed for microsurgery and others for single-port access to minimize scarring. The goal is to reduce the cognitive load on a human surgeon, freeing them up to focus on the most critical parts of the procedure. This is where the real innovation is happening in creating smarter tools to make our best surgeons even better. Section 5. What if Musk is directionally right? Now, let's zoom out and speculate a bit. What if Musk's timeline is wrong, but his direction is right? What happens in 20 or 30 years if we times achieve fully autonomous surgery? In this long-term future, it's plausible that standardized procedures, think hernia repairs, joint replacements, or gallbladder removals, could be performed by robots with superhuman consistency and near-zero error rates. A robot doesn't get tired at the end of a 12-hour shift. It doesn't have a bad day. An AI could draw on a global dataset of every similar surgery ever performed, instantly standardizing best practices and eliminating the gap between world-class hospitals and small rural clinics. In this world, the role of the surgeon would transform. Medical school wouldn't become obsolete, but it would change. The curriculum might focus less on mastering manual suturing and more on systems oversight, AI ethics, and complex creative problem-solving for the edge cases that a robot can't handle. The surgeon of the future might be more of an orchestrator, supervising a fleet of surgical robots from a command center, ready to intervene in the most challenging and unusual cases. This raises profound questions about jobs and society. While new roles like robot technicians and clinical AI safety officers would emerge, other jobs in the operating room could be displaced. And the biggest question of all remains, who gets access to this technology? Will it truly democratize healthcare as Musk promises, or will it be another luxury concentrated in wealthy nations? So, will Elon Musk's Optimus robot replace your surgeon in the next 3 years? Based on the evidence and the word of experts, the answer is a definitive no. The technological, regulatory, and ethical hurdles are simply too massive to overcome on such an aggressive timeline. Musk is a visionary, and his bold predictions are brilliant for pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible. But in the world of medicine, where lives are on the line, progress is measured in decades of careful peer-reviewed research, not in exponential hype cycles. The future of surgery is undoubtedly filled with more AI and more robotics. These tools will make surgery safer, faster, and more effective, but they will be tools in the hands of skilled human experts, not a replacement for them. The human touch, critical judgment, and empathy of a doctor are things that, for the foreseeable future, cannot be programmed. But what do you think? Is Musk's timeline completely unrealistic, or are the experts underestimating the speed of AI? Would you ever trust a fully autonomous robot to perform your surgery? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.